Have you ever wondered what appliances and devices in your home are silently using energy? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today. As you can tell, we're not in our usual studio. We're actually visiting a customer. And we have an assortment of items here in front of us. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to energy management and how to use energy as efficiently as possible. Today, I'm joined again by Ezar Pol. He is the Energy Audit Officer at our Revenues and Customer Accounts Department. Ezar, how are you doing today?
Hi, Emmanuel. I'm doing very well. It's good to be back.
And good to have you back, Ezar.
Thank you.
All right, so last time we were talking, we were in studio and we were talking about how to live efficiently,
Yes.
right? Today, we're taking a bit more of a practical approach where we're actually gonna show you how you, with your family, can start to unlock your home's energy savings using some of these appliances as examples. All right, so we have an assortment of appliances here. Ezar, where do you want to start? Take it away. Show us how to use these appliances as efficiently as possible.
Yes, as you said, we have here an assortment of appliances at home. Let's start off here with a coffee maker. If you're a coffee lover just like me, then this one's definitely for you guys.
Right, and I will tell you that I am a coffee lover. I think I'm on my second cup so
Wow,
far.
Emmanuel, that's a lot. So right here, let's start with this one. We have two different models of coffee maker. This one, it has an electronic clock display here, if you could see right here. So this specific type of coffee maker is pulling electricity even though it's not in use because it's still for lighting up this one. So what we call this specifically is a phantom power.
What is phantom power?
So a phantom power is when an appliance is still pulling minimal energy or electricity even though it's not in use.
Okay.
But it's still plugged in.
All right. I know some people use this for display purposes, like to display a clock, for
Yes.
example. And of course, if you want it for that purpose, that's up to you. That's the convenience of having this appliance. But we're just trying to show you that even though it's not percolating coffee, I think that's what you call it, right?
Yes.
Even though it's not making coffee, it's still pulling energy to keep that display on.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm also seeing this other coffee maker here. It doesn't have a display. What could you tell us about how to use that as efficiently as possible?
Yes. This other model doesn't have the display as you can see here, but it does have the turn on and off switch right here.
Yeah.
So let's see, Manuel. Let's see us. We do our coffee before we go. In the morning, let's say at 7 or 8 in the morning, we do our coffee, and then we just want to leave it there throughout the whole day for convenience for any time.
Or we forget.
Or
to
we
turn it off.
honestly forget to turn it off.
Right.
So even though you're not using it for coffee, when let's say if you come back in the afternoon or in the evening, you're gonna touch it, it's still warm.
Right. And it's on right now, and,
Yes.
and I can feel it. It's very warm, almost hot.
Yes. So the point is, even though you have already had your coffee and it's still on, it's still putting a lot of power because this is warming
Right.
the coffee there.
And honestly, some people like to have it on because they want that convenience of having coffee hot and ready to go whenever they want
Yes.
it, right? Later in the morning or the afternoon.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, again, it's for the convenience, right?
Mhm.
That's what you want. It is for your convenience. I'm seeing some devices here. What could you tell me about these devices? What are they?
Yes, good thing you asked, Emmanuel. These devices, these are called our kilowatt meter. The function of this is to specifically measure the consumption of individual appliances. In
Right.
this case, I'm having it to measure the consumption for this coffee maker. Like I said,
Right.
it's still on, but
Mhm.
nobody's using it. We have this
It's been on for like how long?
for
About
an hour. For an hour, yes,
An
for
hour,
exactly
okay.
an hour.
Mhm.
And we could see right here in the display, it has 0.08 kilowatts. This is so for an hour. This has consumed a total of 0.0 kilowatts.
Okay. What does
Per
that look
hour.
like more or less in terms of
Yes,
dollar value?
I could quickly do the calculations right here, so you viewers could understand better.
Right.
So right here, let's say if you have this is 0.08 kilowatts an hour. Let's say this is for an hour. So let's say if you forget to disconnect it or unplug it for 8 hours a
For
day,
8 hours.
and then you're looking for let's say if you have this on for 8 hours
Mhm.
every day for a whole month, you're
Right.
looking more or less to be paying close to $8
We'll see
per month just for having a coffee maker that's not in use practically.
Right. So even though if I'm not drinking coffee and it's still in use, it's still costing me
It's still costing you,
basically.
exactly. And this is for the coffee maker that doesn't have electronic display. Imagine having this scenario with this one, which
Right.
has also
Like
this
having it on and still
yes,
like
so it's still
displaying.
pulling a bit more than that.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
what could you tell me about these appliances here? Because I'll be honest with you, this setup right here kind of looks like what I would have at home.
Yes.
I'd have my computer plugged in after work, turn it off, but still leave it on.
Yes.
I'd have my computer monitor plugged in, my phone charger, maybe a couple of other devices. What could you tell me about this setup, and how can we start to save energy there?
Yes, before I go to your point, I forgot to mention that, do you see how we have one appliance, one coffee maker with electronic display?
Right,
Imagine when you have, in this case, we have this microwave.
right,
Let's see if you have your smart TV turned on, if you have your game consoles, all of these will pull power and will add up at the end of the month by a lot more, right?
So it's several devices that consume minimal energy when they're not being used,
Yes,
but at the end of the day,
they will
add up.
add up. Yes, they will add
Right.
up
Okay.
a good amount. And in this case, like you said, you have right here your laptop.
Mhm.
Your laptop, I see that it's connected, but it's not in
Right.
use. And even though it's
Right.
not in use, it's still pulling
Mhm.
electricity right here.
Right.
If
So this is turned off.
yes,
Right.
it's turned off.
Right. And I can see there's an LED light.
Yeah, there's an LED light there.
Yes. So it shows me that it is pulling
It's still
power.
pulling power, and it's
to
slightly
charge.
warm. It's not room temperature or
Right, right,
cold.
right.
Yes.
And you can test this as well at your home if you have it plugged in and you touch your
Yes.
your what is this called?
A charger adapter.
Charger adapter, right?
Yes.
If you touch it, you will realize it's not.
Slightly warm.
It's slightly warm, yeah.
Yes.
And again, these devices use minimal power,
Yes, minimal.
right? But at the end of the day, if you add up all the different appliances in your home that are using
Yeah.
minimal power or on standby power, it does tend to add up.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the recommendation here is just unplug everything. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, that we could do that, or the easiest ways I could recommend as well is you could buy yourself a power strip right here. This is a surge protector power strip.
Right.
How this works is, as you can see here in the setup, you have your small appliances connected here, and yes, it might be too much for you to be disconnecting each appliances individually one by one. So right here, you could just turn off this switch right here, and it's going to cut off the electricity
Right.
for all appliances. So it's an easier
Okay.
method and safer as well.
I do that at home. One of the things that I like to do is have especially my appliances that consume a lot of energy. I usually have them on a power surge or a power strip. So at the end of the day, when I'm finished with the day, I'm not going to use any of these appliances. I just pop, turn it on,
that's
turn
it.
it off, and that's it.
And
Cuts
very
off.
convenient. Yes.
Right, it cuts off power to all the devices that are connected to
Definitely.
it. We also have a smart device here, an Alexa. I'm sure that you are familiar with this device as well. This is also using power, I would imagine.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned it, because this Alexa device, even though it's not in use currently, it has to be on the whole time, because every time you want to give a voice command, it's going to reply to you. So it's in standby power mode.
Right.
And still going to be consuming.
So it's on standby waiting for your command. That means it
It's
has
still
to stay
pulling.
on.
Yeah, it has to be on.
Right. Well, let's test it. Let's bring Alexa into the conversation and see if, what she can tell us about phantom load. All right. So, Alexa, do Alexa devices use phantom power? Yes or no?
From Amazon.com. It indeed does provide phantom power.
Okay, excellent.
There you have
Well, there you have it. You heard it from Alexa herself. Thank you, Alexa, for that insight. So there you have it. We're showing you different devices, and Alexa as well confirmed that devices like these do use phantom power, which again are minimal, but at the end of the day, they do add up.
They do add up, yes.
Right. Ezar, let's move on now to one of the largest appliances in your home and in a customer's home. The refrigerator. Unlike these other small devices that you might find and that you can unplug or disconnect, the refrigerator, you can't do that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It has to stay on, right? For obvious reasons. So what could you tell me in terms of how do we go about ensuring that we're using it as efficiently as possible?
Yes, as you mentioned as well, the refrigerator is one of the top consumers at home, and we cannot unplug it, right? So they have to be connected 24/7 all year long. One of the tips that I could definitely provide to you guys is try or avoid opening and closing of the refrigerator constantly, especially in the warmer months for summertime. Why? Because every time you open and close the refrigerator, you're allowing for warm air to come in, and when you allow for this air to come in, it's just making the refrigerator to work harder and harder, because it has to keep cool inside there.
Right.
So yes.
So that means, people, no more opening your fridge and standing in front of the door and thinking, I don't know what I want to eat. Wow, I want to eat something nice today. Doing that will just allow cool air to escape and for
Definitely.
warm air to enter,
Yes.
right? And of course, I don't have to call no names. You know who you are. If you do this, I would advise you to think differently about how you're using the appliance, right? What else could you tell me about the
Yes,
refrigerator?
also another thing I could give you is to check for the seals of the doors, right?
The seals, okay.
Yes, definitely.
So those are the seals around the door of the
Yes.
refrigerator. I guess over time they do experience wear and tear
Definitely.
because of the use of it.
Yeah.
No. So how could we go about checking if the seal is working properly?
Yeah, so how it could do is we could take a sheet of paper like right here, and then we could just open
Yeah.
open right here the refrigerator and try to slide up a sheet of paper here
Right.
and try to close the door and try to pull
Mhm.
pull the sheet, and if it has a grip, then it means that the seal is working properly.
Right.
Like in this case, you could see it's kind of
Right.
hard, so it's the seal is working as it should.
Mhm.
So this is
Right.
an easy demonstration so that
Right.
could confirm if your seal
Right.
is working as it should,
So
right?
so that means because it didn't come off as easily, right?
Yes.
It has some grip to it.
Yes, and the importance of this is because you are confirming if the seals are good. If they're not good, it means that cool air is just leaking out,
Okay.
which will in turn make your refrigerator work harder as well.
Okay, excellent. Anything else that you want to say in terms of the refrigerator?
Yes, another thing as well is the temperatures.
Temperature,
Set the
okay.
temperatures of your AC to an adequate one for optimal efficiency.
I know sometimes people just like set it to the max.
Oh no.
What would you recommend?
No, by setting it to the max, you're just honestly wasting energy if it's not
Okay.
needed. So I always recommend for the refrigerator, you could set it between 3 to 5 degrees Celsius
3 to 5 degrees for refrigerator.
for refrigerator, and then
Okay.
for the freezer, which is negative 18 degrees Celsius or 0 degrees Fahrenheit as well. That's
Okay.
for the optimal or more efficient.
Optimal
Yes, more efficient.
use.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. What could you tell me in terms of how you go about using the refrigerator, and of course in terms of stocking your fridge?
Yes, another thing that I could always add as well is try to stock your refrigerator inside properly and well distributed. By what I mean by that is if you have a lot of containers there, just try to put it evenly distributed. Why? Because if you try to put everything like
Mhm.
clustered, it's going to be blocking the cool air that's circulating there. Especially if you put containers in front of the air vent, it's going to block it. And by
Right.
blocking it, you're forcing your refrigerator to work harder as well. So
Okay.
all of these factors do affect when
Mhm.
consuming more energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that means that you can't come right after the grocery store and just chuck your groceries in at the fridge and
Yeah,
expect it to work properly.
Yeah, it's not
right?
recommended to do that, no.
All right. So stack it. No go play Jenga with your fridge.
Yes.
I've learned that. I've tried to do this as best as possible, but honestly, sometimes you just can't help it. After multiple uses, your refrigerator tends to look a little bit not so optimal, if I can put it that way. But the idea here is to ensure that it's being stacked properly, to ensure, as you say, ensuring that cool air is circulating
Properly,
efficiently.
yes. Efficiently.
Okay, great. So one of the things that I want to say is that these things that we're talking about, unplugging devices, make sure you're using your refrigerator properly. A lot of these things, they take mental load if you're not used to it.
Mhm.
So one of the recommendations that I have for myself for our viewers is to ensure that you make small changes in your daily life, because over time and being consistent with these small changes ensures that they eventually become habits or behaviors. And once they're behaviors, then it doesn't take that much of a mental load, right?
Yeah.
Do you have the same experience?
Yeah, the same experience as you, so I can totally relate to it. Yes.
Right. So thank you very much for those insights, Ezar. And now I turn over to you, our viewers. Now we've reached my favorite part of the show, where we do a giveaway. As you know, every episode we ask a question based on the topic of the day, and whoever gets the answer correct will be winning this prize that you're seeing on your screen. It's a BL basket with an assortment of items. All right, so in this episode, it won't be the first person to answer correctly, but it will be the best answer that will be winning this prize. All right, so without further ado, the question for today is, what are 3 practical ways you can start saving energy in the kitchen? What are 3 practical ways you can start saving energy in the kitchen? Right, so we've talked about a multiple of different ways how you can start saving energy, right? So it's up to you. Go in the chat and type in how you can start, what are 3 practical ways how you can start saving energy in the kitchen. We'll look at all those comments and we'll select the best answer. The winner will be posted tomorrow. And if you are the winner, remember that we will, remember to send us a private message so we can arrange for the delivery of your prize. Right? And with that said, I want to thank you so much, Ezar, for taking the time out, coming to the show again, and sharing your insights with us and our viewers.
Yes, thank you, Manuel. And for the viewers, I just want to say that I hope you learn 1 or 2 tips right here for being more energy efficient and being a smarter user.
Right. I certainly learned a lot today, and I hope our viewers did too.
I'm glad you did.
Right. So, and to our viewers, here's my challenge for you. Pick 1 new habit that you can start doing today to start unlocking your home's energy savings. Right. Let me know what that habit is in the chat. Let me know what you will do to start unlocking your home's energy savings. And with that, we've come to the end of this episode. As always, stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you next time on the Whats and Whys of Energy.